Yeah.
We made
Amazing
that
thing.
decision right here and now
Yeah.
for no other reasons.
Right. This
We're
isn't
gonna not do a show next week
right. This wasn't pre-prepared at all.
because we want art.
Yeah. We're always looking for art. More art.
Hold it hostage.
Yeah, that's right.
Dungeons. Is this episode 20? Oh, I should know this. 27? 28?
27?
27, right? Hold on, I gotta verify. Probably doesn't matter.
I've got to verify your love.
This will be 28. Oh my gosh. All right. 28. 28 it is. 28. I think last week I said 26 again, but it was really 27 because I was dumb. Let's see. We're going to call this 28A because I do it in 2 chunks now. Okay. All right, you guys. This is it. Put on your D&D pants.
Already done.
Yep.
It's happening now.
That's no pants.
No pants.
Gotta get comfy.
Yeah. All right. You good, Bo?
Oh. Yeah, I'm good. You can start. I just gotta get my dice.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Hello, everyone, and welcome to session 28 of There Will Be Dungeons. That's right. D&D, baby. Pack it in, strap it on, and let's go. Let's go. That was a not...
Switch the order there.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Pack it up.
No.
Whole other meaning.
Not gonna continue down that road, but it is our pleasure to be back, everybody. Thank you for joining us, those who are attending live and those who may be listening in other ways or watching us after the fact. We're happy to have you here. As always, we begin the show with a quick bit of feedback from a listener. Got an email from somebody calling themselves Matt Brown. Very strange, exotic name. Matt Brown. Writes in, says, his subject is inspired to DM by There Will Be Dungeons. And here's his message. I'm a longtime listener of TMS, and I've also listened to There Will Be Dungeons since the beginning. I hadn't done any role-playing or DMing in about 30 years. I got inspired by you guys and DM'd a game this past weekend. I discovered an open-source RPG called Gumshoe and invited my brother and 2 nephews, who are 9 and 10, to play. I created my own setting and theme, which was 1940s detective noir with orcs, elves, and Nazis, and some very bad characters tried to take over the city of New York. Luckily, my brother and his sons were on the case and broke up the caper before the worst happened. Beforehand, I made a lot of mental notes on how Bo runs things and was able to adjust the game as the players did things that I didn't expect at all. Anyway, thank you for the great show. Well, Matt, thank you. That's an awesome bit of feedback, and also we feel the same about Bo's deft DMing, and how he pivots and adjusts based on our dumb behavior is always a marvel to me. So good job, Bo. Apparently other people noticed too, not just us.
Well, thank you for the compliment.
Nice job. You're so good at... Bo loves a good compliment, so send him a ton of them at Bo Schwartz on Twitter, you guys. Just let him know how much you love his DM work, and he'll reply and be a very happy man. Thank you for that email. If you'd like to send your own emails in, you can go to the website, therewillbedungeons.com. There's a link right there, and boom, you're in, and we'll read it right here on the show. All right. That's as far as I can take it before we turn it over to Kristen, who will now read basically the notes from last week in her own special way. Kristen, take it away.
Last time on There Will Be Dungeons, a rat in a van is worth 2 in a suit. Before bidding bye-bye to the bustling bivouac, Varel was visited by the ex-Kuromo-Kishi and convinced that erupting the esophageal pass was the equitable enterprise. Morning met the mise-en-scène with our heroes heading out and the camp ready to relocate. Before breaking away, a young man, Tedna, hit up Hope, submitting squirely services. Not wanting another mouth to feed, the ticked tiefling stared down the scamp, scaring him away. To the teat the team traveled. Stanley, noting the necessity of a duplicate driver, welcomed the wheel with practice piloting. Hope happily obliged, but a jostling jolt rattled the riders, revealing a renegade, Tedna. Furious, Hope fumed and fulminated even as their caravan was beset by a behemoth, the metal man of metal they thought they had stranded in the sinker. Proclaiming himself a paladin procured to fumigate the funk of foul fiddling, a fight ensued. The peeved party fought furiously. Even Bok managed to deposit dynamite in the dope's dress before Varel rocketed upward with the murderous monster. Scuffling in the sky, the paladin released ravenous rats to lick the lizard's liniment. 30 feet down, Tedna took the truck ready to ram. Nash knocked out far-flung fireballs. Stanley erupted with eldritch might, and Hope's hits harangued. Blown from the sky after Barbarian brought down, the jousters jumped into the jalopy and raced to the relics of the ramshackle ragamuffin. Enveloping the passing paladin, the team were told of more menaces before the suit self-destructed. Our stout-hearted sextet continued to travel toward the teat in search of Hope's promised pistols and a possible chance for revenge. Stopping for the night, they were awoken by Varel's voice. Sought by a scaled, scorned troop, combat was called over the hand of a handsome priestess Varel had visited none too long ago. Now, welcome yourself back to the wastes as our tireless troop takes on a lounge of livid lizards.
Oh my gosh. We're doing the big finish on you. I don't know how she does it, you guys. There it is every week, consistently and without reproach.
They're
Bo,
getting better.
yeah, they get better and better, and you also do like perfect readings. You're like a somebody could hire you to do VO or something. You'd go in and you'd just do a take and leave. Is how that would go. Congratulations, well done. Yeah, it is the dream. It is the dream.
I think you should do the opening for all the late night shows.
Yeah.
Live tonight. It's late night with
whoever.
Stephen Colbert.
Yeah,
You doing that.
I like that. It's not a bad idea. All right, Bo, the keys are yours. Please take us where you want us to go.
Welcome back, players, listeners, ladies and germs, to the show.
All right.
It is the desert. It is nighttime. Nash spied some silhouettes out on the desert horizon of humanoids and some sort of animal shape. He quickly woke up Varel and the rest of the party. Varel immediately identifying that these were lizard folk approaching the camp without guile. And as it turns out, they discovered the leader of this the four lizard folk was one named Diptak of the Golden Land, and he challenged Varel's claim to be the consort of Priestess Taipala, whom he met in the desert some time ago, and who had propositioned him for courtship and for mating. Diptak had basically demanded of Varel that he desist immediately in this pursuit, and Varel was not inclined to agree. So the four lizard folk who are standing rigid in front of you all take a combat stance and hold their spears tightly. Each of them a spear made of found wood with at the end tied some ivory tooth from some unknown beast, menacingly pointing in your direction. And they begin combat. Roll for initiative.
Oh man, right into it, man.
15 for me.
Well, if I didn't roll a d12, I would have a really good roll. There we go.
Take a drink.
11.
Don't forget to add your initiative modifier.
Of which I have none.
14.
14. Okay.
And 20.
20. Okay, perfect. All right, so the four lizard folk, Diptak goes, "Men, attack!" And he begins, you start to see him spring into action. So Hope, the time slows down. You see the lizard folk the dust under their feet begin to shoot up as they shift their weight into a running position. And it's your moment to act.
All right, and Diptak is clearly the strongest of the group.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
They're all fairly formidable, so not by much, but he's got a few inches on them.
All right, cool. Well, I'll use my shotgun and I'll raise it slowly, take aim, and fire.
Okay. Then roll an attack roll, please.
With a 12.
Okay. So you fire. You go to fire. Bring it up. Maybe you brought it up a little too slow, and you fire in the position he was and didn't lead your target, and the bullet just hits there. Nothing happens. A loud bang rings out through the desert as the shot rings out. And you have a move and potentially a bonus action you might want to take.
I'll just stand my ground and casually start loading up the next round of bullets.
Okay.
I'm in no rush. These
As
do
the
not
shot
scare me.
as the shot rings out, he's the fastest he's the fastest of the group, and he runs directly towards Varel. He makes a little leap in the air as he brings down puts the spear above his head and brings it down into a stabbing motion versus Varel. And you easily dodge it. The spear comes down, and you go, whoo, and the spear hits the sand. And having dodged it, the Diptak looks to you and is rage in his eyes, and he goes to make a bite at you. You bring up your arm to deflect it, and you're able to just jostle his teeth away as he makes a wild bite. Okay. Now one of the lizard folk also runs up, and he runs up next to his companion here. And he makes he goes to stand next to him, so he runs up alongside him as Diptak runs up to attack you. He runs up and he just stands there, and he's got this spear out, but he makes no motion to attack you. It almost looks as if the second lizard folk, as he runs up, is protecting him. He has a spear out defensively, waiting for you to strike. Okay, and then slightly behind him, this Velociraptor here begins to stir. But Stanley, it's your turn first.
All right, I am going to take a look at one of the lizard men who's pretty close to me but didn't charge in. Remember how to ping. There it is. That fellow. And I'm going to point my fingers at him, and I am going to cast Hex upon him.
What does Hex do?
So it is a bonus action. Places a curse on a creature that you see within range. Until the spell ends, you deal extra 1d6 necrotic damage whenever you hit it with an attack. You also choose one ability when you cast the spell, and they will have disadvantage on ability checks made against that chosen ability.
Okay, so the lizard folk, one of the lizard folk who hasn't run up, who's towards the back, who's definitely going to be running up. He's just in the heat of this moment. You look at him, you cast your hex spell on him. Which ability are you giving him disadvantage in?
I'm going to give him disadvantage on Dissonant Whispers.
Okay, Dissonant Whispers, got it. Okay.
And then for my action, I'm going to fire Eldritch Blast at him.
Okay. Oh, so you're going to give him, disadvantage against saves versus Dissonant Whispers? That's how it works?
Yes.
Okay. So is it the save he has disadvantage, or that specific ability versus him?
That specific ability. Well, hold on. Let me just double check the spell real quick.
Just to make sure I understand.
They have disadvantage on ability checks made with that chosen ability. So my guess would be if I cast it.
Well, what's the save on Dissonant Whispers? Is basically
15 Wisdom if I use.
So he gets disadvantage on Wisdom checks.
Yeah.
So it affects everybody, right? Or is it just you?
Just I think just me. Because it's just that ability. It's specifically that ability.
Okay.
I played sax for Dissonant Whispers, by the way. It was a good time.
No, the target has disadvantage on ability checks made with the chosen ability. It's an ability. It's not like in Heroes where you have abilities. Like Dissonant Whispers is a spell, not an ability, right?
Right.
So it doesn't say against the target spell. It says ability checks with the chosen ability. So anything with Wisdom, he gets disadvantage on.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Hey, how about that?
Yeah.
This
You got
is
heroes
even better
in World
than
of
I
Warcraft.
thought.
You got heroes in World of Warcraft brain still when you're reading these things.
Yeah, I know, no kidding.
Yeah,
That's
it's
why I
not
didn't
an
know those raptors were still there. I'm used to games where if you dismount, the mount disappears. That's just how it works.
A spell is not an ability. Your ability scores are literally Strength, Dex, Con, Int, Wiz, Charisma. Your attributes, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So
either way, I'm gonna Eldritch Blast him.
Okay. All right.
That is going to be a 14 to hit.
Okay, 14 to hit.
Yep.
Success.
He takes 2 damage.
2.
Wait, hold on. attacks would mean physical attacks, not spell attacks, right? Or would this count towards that?
No,
as
spell
well?
attack is an attack.
Great.
A
Awesome.
ranged spell attack is an attack. So you do
Apologies
an
for the
extra 1d6.
confusion on this, folks. New spell. I don't know how it works.
It's all good.
Okay, so that's 2 plus. Oh, there we go. That's 8 damage then.
Okay, so you let out the bolt, the Eldritch Blast. It's lightning, right? It creaks across the desert sand towards your target. It shocks him, but he doesn't seem to be too affected by it. But then it sinks into his skin, and this sort of black smoke starts to smolder in between his scales, and he looks visibly ill as the magic of the hex amplifies what you've hit him with.
And then the last thing I'm going to do, having done all that, is just move back to be about parallel with Nash, kind of in the back behind everybody.
Sure thing.
Bravely.
Okay, Varel, you're up.
All right, I will enter my rage. Not having seen this combat tactic before, I will not take mine to the lizard who is doing nothing next to my primary target, Diptak. Entering my rage, I will make my lightning surge across my scales and bring around my bare head mace for an attack on him, non-reckless. Quite yet.
You're just making an attack?
Yeah.
Okay, as you go to make the attack, the lizard folk protecting him next to him reacts with a riposte and attempts to attack you to disrupt your attack. Let's see, 15 plus what's his adjustment to his attack? Yeah, 19, so it's a hit. You take 3 points of damage as he drives his spear into you and attempts to. It looks like he's attempting to keep you from closing in and grappling him. So he lands in and with a little stabbing motion. Now you're not grappling, so you're still able to achieve your attack essentially. So go ahead and what's your roll?
My roll is a 12.
Okay, so your attack, you swing with the bear skull mace and miss, but you miss because you weren't expecting the counter attack from his personal guardian. It appears like, and sort of miss your mark. Your aim is off due to this.
Then I would like to use my lightning as part of my rage induce to shimmer down his spear into him.
Okay, you're gonna use your electricity to shoot down the spear okay.
Into my attacker.
Yeah.
So you get the dex save.
Dexterity. He saves.
Cool. 1 damage.
Okay, 1 damage to that guy. Sorry, how much did you do again on the last turn? I forgot to note it down. John, was it 8?
8 damage.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. All right, 1 damage to that guy. He just eats the lightning. The lightning you see surges across his hands, and he appears unaffected by it. He does take the damage, but he appears to be. His combat savagery is unabated. All right. Are you doing anything else with your turn?
No, I'm in melee, and I'm raging, so I'll growl.
All right. Diptak looks at you with disgust and hate at your growl. Just hates everything about what you've just done. Nash, your turn.
Is this loose dirt?
There's sand, yes.
There's sand?
Yeah, you can grab it with your hand in the clump.
All right.
But it's not deep. The wasteland tend to be cracked earth, clay, very hard in a lot of spots, but it tends to have this layer of sand before you get down to that hardness, and so there's sand.
Okay. I want to try something new as well. So this one that John was trying to fight up here, this guy.
The one to your left?
Yeah, yep.
On your left side, and he hasn't moved in for an attack yet. He's just on his way in.
What I would like to try to do, I don't know what this will actually do to him though. Hold on a second. Is it going to cause... I'm trying not to hurt my people. That's what I'm trying to do here. Okay. Yeah, that's not going to do any good in this fight. All right, so never mind. I'm not doing what I said I was going to do. Instead, how many feet is this? 40 feet. Okay. I'm going to acid splash that guy.
This guy, the one marked L1, one to your left.
Yeah, the one way.
It's just Eldritch blasted. Okay.
Yeah, the one he just Eldritch blasted. I'm going to.
Does Splash have a range on it?
It does 60 feet. He's 40 feet from me.
Excellent. So you can lob that goober of acid right at him.
Yep.
All right, and that's a save, right? Not a ranged attack.
Correct.
13 save. What's the save? Sorry.
Hold on. It is Dex 14.
Dex 14. All right. It's a success from my end.
All right.
So you shoot out the acid splash, and the lizard folk looks at it, and he sees it coming, and he's and he looks at you with fury.
Mm-hmm. I hit him for 4 damage, by the way. It's 1d6 damage.
Wait, he saved.
Oh, he
Does it
saved.
do
I thought you
half
said he
damage?
missed. I'm sorry.
No, he saved.
Oh, never mind. So he's just
Succeeded
pissed.
on his saving throw.
All right, never mind. All right. Nash just makes a grumpy face and stays where he's at.
Grumpy face.
That's my my final action is making a grumpy face.
Okay, perfect. So then the other ones, let's see, another lizard folk. One of the velociraptors actually takes a moment to sniff the ground, and then it creaks out. And then the lizard folk that hit with the Eldritch Blast points to it and points to you and says, "Get them!" And the lizard folk jumps into action. Now, not the lizard folk, sorry, the velociraptor. My Roll20 is going nuts. Let's see here.
For those at home,
right,
we
so-
have some little lizards making moves on a screen.
So this thing now they can move up to. He covers ground fast. He runs into a charging motion. I'm trying to just figure out what the feet is. That's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Okay, so he runs up 40 feet and he doesn't reach you in time, but he's definitely going for the guys in the back. So he uses a dash action to continue running, and he runs up right past you, getting in behind you. Which means it provokes opportunity attacks from both of you.
All right.
Sweet.
From all three. From 3.
Wow.
Nice.
Mine is going to be a 13 to hit.
10.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Stanley, you score a hit.
Mine is only a 5.
Okay, Stanley, you're the one to score a hit on it.
Okay. 12 damage to him.
Jeez.
Ooh.
Nice.
Damn.
I rolled max on it.
Yeah, it's a good hit. So as he runs by, he dodges all kinds of attacks as he races in. Everyone's just a little too slow to react and try and hit him, except for Stanley, who sees him coming and has him dead in his sights. And you just take your sword, and get him good, and he goes as he runs by. And then as he runs past you towards the vehicle, he circles and turns around, and then stares you down from there. All right, that is. All right, so this one here, who's near one of the velociraptors, jumps up and mounts on top of the velociraptor, and then he starts to ride in towards you again for 24 feet. Or it's 40 feet. Gets on top of the raptor, rides up, and because they have spears, they have reach, so he can actually reach you in melee from there.
Crap.
And he throws he stabs out with the spear that he has towards you. 16 plus javelin 4. Okay, so he hits you. He rolled a 19 for 3 damage. So he just immediately mounts up, runs up, does a little jabbing motion, and immediately jabs again. The second one doesn't hit you, but you get just right in the chest. The spear hits you, breaks skin, doesn't go too deep, but very painful. Take 3 points of damage. So that's L. Sorry, I've labeled everything. Like, not very memorable things here on this map that we have. That's okay, perfect. All right, so now the lizard folk who's been Eldritch blasted finally grabs his spear and then runs up towards his Diptak here, and he stands in a position to defend Diptak again in a familiar way that you see. All right, the 2 remaining velociraptors run 40, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. No, 10, 20, 30, 40. Okay. This guy jumps in the thick of things into your face, Nash. But he can't attack you because he's used his dash action. But he does provoke an opportunity attack from Hope as he runs past Hope in order to chase down Nash.
Oh,
And you don't have a reload. You have to reload after each shot, right? So you don't have anything in your gun.
no, but I could try to like smack him with my gun.
You can
the
melee
other
with the
way.
gun. I don't think you have your machete out, so you'd have to hit him with an improvised weapon. But you could butt him if you wanted to.
I rolled
Butt him.
a 5, so
Okay.
I don't think there's
So you hit him with the
anything
gun,
going
it
on with
doesn't-
this one.
Doesn't do anything. It just does nothing. The second Velociraptor runs up 10, 20, 30, 40 feet. This time in front of you. As you turn around to go and hit the Velociraptor, that you sidestep and hit with the gun, you turn around and you see the second Velociraptor right in your face immediately, and this one jumps at you for an attack. It makes 3 attacks wildly with his claws and his face and his teeth as it just jumps right at you. So let's do claws first. Okay, both claws swipe out and misses. You react immediately, and your adrenaline flushes up into your system, so close to shredding you into pieces. 14 doesn't hit, right?
Correct.
No. So, and then the face comes up and it goes, ah, and bites you, tries to bite you, and the teeth close, and you hear this loud snap of teeth hitting other teeth as it sits in front of you and tries to bite you. Hope, it's now your turn.
All right, I'm gonna drop my gun to the ground and grab the machete and try and jam it up into the gut of the raptor. If I can
Okay.
get it in, I'm gonna pull forward and see if I can gut it.
Sure.
With an 11.
Nope. You try to find a way to get in to stab it, but its arms are flailing like crazy, and there's these dangerous sharp claws on them. And you go to make a little swing, but it's just like your heart wasn't in it because it's very dangerous looking. Trying to get into his underbelly to make an attack, and it misses.
All right, well, I'll stay there eyeing this raptor that's on me.
Okay. Diptac now goes in to try and grapple you. Vorel, we're going to make a strength versus strength check.
Let's do it. 23.
Oh,
Alright. He goes in to try and grapple you, and you just push him off like he's nothing. And he's this is look at determination, resolve, and insult all on his face all at once. To the other humans, he doesn't look like he's made any different of a face because he's a lizard folk, and they just look like this. but you can read all these emotions in the movement of his eyes and scales.
I hope I kind of catch him on my shield and just kind of push him off.
Yeah, push him off like he's nothing. Like, and you can definitely feel like you fought stronger than this. He's like nothing. Now the one to his left who pushed you off and had stabbed you resumes his stance of protecting Diptac. Okay, so he's there. He's just there, permanently guarding him from like grapples or just whatever, like just on his butt guarding him. The first Velociraptor who made his underneath, he's going to defer his turn because he's being ridden by that lizard folk. Not defer his turn, but he'll just sync it up with the guy riding him. So Stanley, it's your turn.
Alrighty. Well, let's start with the bonus action. I'm going to throw my rapier, toss it actually behind me, and say parlay, and send it to attack the raptor who I had previously stabbed as it ran by. And we'll send it over at him to attack him.
All right, let's get you a sword.
That's going to be a 21 to hit. I imagine that does.
Hey, let me just give you control of the sword in our screen so you can place it where it's supposed to go.
Cool. So it's
You should have control of it now.
who are the potato heads in the room over here?
There's Tedna and Bok.
Oh, right.
potato heads. So that's going to be 9 damage to that raptor.
Okay, so the sword sinks in, floats up, sinks in, makes a stabbing motion into the raptor. This is Raptor V2. Okay. 9 damage to him? Yeah, okay,
Yep.
perfect. Okay.
Then I am going to go ahead and the lizard that I have my hex on, I am going to cast Dissonant Whispers at the 2nd level. He has disadvantage on a save. It's a Wisdom 15 save.
This Wisdom 15 save. Disadvantage he has.
Yes.
And let's see what his save is. Wisdom, you say?
Yeah.
It's got to be the lower roll. Yeah, damn it. I rolled a 20 on one of those, but I got to take it off, I think.
Sorry to ruin your day, Bo.
No, it's fine. So the lizard folk is going to not save.
Okay, so he's going to first take 4d6 damage.
Okay. Whoa.
That's 17 damage total. And he is going to have to move as far away as his movement will allow from me.
And that's the one that's next to Varel. Like he's on the left side of Varel, right?
Yeah, the left of Varel.
He's one of the. So for listeners, he's one of the two that are now guarding Diptak. There's one on either side of Diptak, on the left side and the right side. The one on the right side is the one that's been hexed and Eldritch blasted, and now Dissonant Whispers. You cast the spell out, whispering into his mind, and the lizard folk is like, "What is this? What is this I'm hearing?" And he turns around. He's, how much damage was it again?
17.
20. What is this I'm hearing? Ah! And he drops his spear and he starts wandering around. He has to move as far away as possible from you.
Yeah.
So he starts wandering out into the desert. Varel, you get an opportunity attack here.
Awesome. I will take it. It will be reckless. 13.
Okay, perfect. You do an additional 13 points of damage. So.
Oh wait, no, that's the roll. That's the attack.
Oh.
Oh, it's a hit. It's a hit.
I wish.
No, it's not a hit. Sorry, not a hit. Not a hit.
Oh, you missed him.
All right. So you make it a swing out as he goes out, but you miss. But turn your attention back to Diptak. He wanders out into the desert, going, I can't stand this. There's noises. Wow, what are these noises? And he falls down onto his knees, and he's just screaming as his head, scales begin to slide off of his head, and into a pool, sort of at his knees. He doesn't quite die, but he's in the process of dying.
Freaking Woody Allen, the lizard folk over there, freaking out.
All right, so that is so he's you can tell based on your previous experience with this magic that he's in the throes of death, but it's going to take a little while.
Oh, and then let's see. So you said that the guy with the spear has range. Does that mean he will also have an opportunity attack if I move at this point?
That's right. His melee range is 10 feet.
Okay, then I will stay planted. I'm not going to move then.
Okie dokie. And which one was that? L1. Okay. Vorel, your turn.
Excellent. All right. I am going to make a reckless attack on Diptak.
Okay.
Your line breaks before the Lizard King. I'd like to take the floor roll, but I won't. Okay. I'm going to use my compliment from John from earlier as well.
Got it.
Yeah.
Bardic Inspiration.
Excellent. All right, so that's 17 to hit.
It is a hit.
Excellent. Bear Mace. I'm dropping all my dice. 10 points of damage from my rage bonus.
Okay, you bring the mace down onto his snout.
And I do a Trails Lightning, and I attack him with the lightning as well.
An additional 4 points of damage of lightning. Is that total
he
of
needs
14?
to dodge still. He gets the dodge chance.
Dex dodge. He does not dodge this one.
Excellent. 1.
Is it 14 or 15 the total?
For the dodge? Or the total damage? 11.
11 is total damage. Okay, perfect. Okay, so you bring it down on his head, and then as you hit him, electricity courses through his body, and he goes, "Ah!" in pain as you hit him. But he's not showing any signs of giving up at this juncture. But he takes a solid hit to the snout. Stand your ground.
Stand my ground.
All right, Nash.
Okay, I have a quick logistics question that maybe you can
Yes.
answer for me.
Mm-hmm.
This guy here, is the raptor riding him or is he riding the raptor?
He's riding the raptor. There might be a layering problem.
Okay.
But I'm just not interested in fixing
I'm just making sure because that is also a delightful image that I wanted to at least point out. Okay. Forget about him, though. We're not worried about him. What we are going to do is we got to do something nasty to this one that's right in front of me.
Yes, it looks vicious. It's got
Yeah.
claws,
He's a butthole.
teeth.
I don't like him. So what I would like to do, I'm going to do another acid splash. Oh, this will be point blank range basically, but
Okay.
it's another Dex 14 save for you.
It's a miss, or it's fail save.
All
Fail
right,
save.
and then I need to 1d6. Okay, so my damage is 4.
Okay, so you splash acid onto the Velociraptor, and it just looks like it gets angrier as it starts standing in front of you, and you're backing up. You're like psh, and fire acid, and it goes, and it's madder. It's just whatever you did, it definitely did damage, but it's angrier. It's coming towards you more intensely.
Great. Well, at least I heard him.
Yeah.
We
My favorite part of the kitchen scene.
We don't have a way to divine their hit points, do we? That's all info you know.
I mean, you can use an action to inspect them, and then I'll give you probably not specific information, but information. Like if you have a medicine check on, I'd like to just do a cursory examination of the health of that creature over there. I'll roll a medicine check to see if I can learn anything. But you definitely don't need a medicine check for this Velociraptor. He looks angry and healthy.
All right. Well, I'd love to move away, but he'll get an opportunity to attack, and I don't want him to get it. So I'm going to continue making a grumpy face and call that my turn.
Okay. So as you splash acid, make that one angry. The Velociraptor that's run behind you guys now makes a charging run at Stanley. It attempts to attack you from behind with its 2 claws and bite attack. All right, so where is that? Thank you. Okay, so one of those is a hit. So you feel sharp. You don't notice it at first, but you feel sharp claws sink into your back for 7 points of damage. Another claw sort of swings at you and misses, and then a bite attack happens. And this one totally misses as well. It just so but you feel like claws shred the back of your cloak and your clothing, and you can feel them rip as claws sink their way. And there's this like you feel it in you, and you don't feel any pain, and then a hot burning just immediately happens right after. So you now got the one raptor behind you. That's V2. Now Bok runs out, having just woke up. He's naked
And proud.
He runs out naked and goes, "Ah!" And then he runs back in. And you hear stuff fall over. You hear these noises from inside the vehicle, and then he comes out with his pants on, and that's his turn. So now this raptor over here. This is the guy on the mount. Okay, so this guy mounted up also in front of you. You have barely any time to pay attention to what's happening behind you when the mounted one attempts to jump up into the air and grapple you by landing on top of you with the Velociraptor. We're going to need to make a strength. You're going to need to make acrobatics or athletics contest versus my roll, versus the Velociraptor's roll.
Oh, okay. Natural
21?
20, so 25 total.
Oh my god, cheater!
Dude, you're serious rolls tonight. This is great.
All right, so was it Dex or Strength?
It would have been Dex. I mean, it was athletics. You said check athletics, so that was a
so you make it dodge. So because it was dexterity, you actually you either move up or down, or left or right.
I'll move up
Pick direction.
or left.
So you move to the left as the Velociraptor jumps down. You dodge out of the way as the Velociraptor tries to come down on top of you and pin you to the ground while the velociraptors eat your face off. But that doesn't happen. You dodge out of the way quickly. Cape billowing in the wind. You flip back over and look at them and give them a cool guy look. Like,
Jeez, friggin' Muldoon over here with all these raptors.
time. Okay, so that is that one. It's L3. So Nash, the one in front of you that you made really angry, he makes an attack against you with both of his claws. One of them's a natural 20. The other one misses.
My gosh,
Claws
dude.
sink deep into your chest as you feel like, and you worry about what it might have damaged.
Okay.
And I'm just getting the damage here.
Okay.
So max, or no, it's two times the dice, right? Yeah. 5 plus 2 is 7 points of damage.
Okay.
It sinks it into you, and then it's slashing damage, and then it attempts to bite you right in your face.
Okay.
And it misses. You pull back quickly and unshanking yourself from the claws as you pull back as it tries to bite you, and it goes. That's not how a velociraptor sounds, but something like that. Something like that. Oh shit! All right. So the velociraptor attempts to stab you. That's that one, and then V4. So then the raptor in front of you, Hope, it actually gets impatient with you and attempts to grapple you as well to try and pin you. So it raises itself up and then tries to drop its weight on top of you. You have to make a strength or dexterity contest versus my grapple. For me, it's a 7.
6.
Well, you're grappled. So it comes up, you just barely get away, and the sand part is just a little too loose, and you lose your footing a little bit, causing the velociraptor to have enough time to get itself on top of you, and then it's pinning your shoulders down with its feet. One is on your waist, the other's uncomfortably on your shoulder, and it's drooling into your face as it has its mouth above you and is going, it's ready to attack with its front claws and front face on the next turn. You are now grappled, pinned down by the velociraptor. It's now your turn, Hope.
All right. Well, I can do an opposing grapple, right?
You want to re-grapple?
Yeah,
Yes.
we're
Yeah.
okay. So I wanna grab its nasty little jaws and flip it so I'm on top of it.
Okay.
Natural 20.
Nice.
Oh, the nat 20s have shown up, it
think
seems.
Thank goodness.
Chat room? Somebody keeping track of all the rolls? I think we have to call the dice police, maybe.
It's impressive. All mine have been
So many
terrible.
20s today, and then my 20 gets countered. All right, so you go to grab it in its mouth. It's very sharp and hot in there. And you just summon all of your strength and push it up, force it up, and it loses its footing against you. And then I guess you flip it over and straddle it, and you're holding it by its mouth, pinning down. It seems it's a very unlikely position to be in, but it seems to be working, so you're going with it. As you have your feet, you've sort of pinned its mouth open and its head against the ground as you flip it over, and now you're on top of it. Okay, so that's your action.
And then I guess if I can make a grab for my machete, I'll start trying to grab for that.
So the only option that you would have that doesn't involve a bonus action or move action would be to use your action surge to take. Is it another attack or another? It's another action, right? Immediately.
True.
Otherwise, you have to wait till your next turn.
And I don't know if I've had my short rest already.
I don't think you've used your action surge since the last long rest. Nobody benefited from long rest last night. But the only fight you had since camp was with the paladin.
Yes, and I did
And
use
I
it
don't-
there.
You did
But
use
I
it?
need
Okay.
a short rest.
So
to
you don't have
recover
it. You don't have it then.
Okay. Yeah.
That's too bad. So you have it pinned down.
Yes.
You're about to perform dental surgery on it.
Yes.
So Diptak, it's your turn. Wait, I'm Diptak.
Go, Diptak, go.
Go,
He chose
Diptak.
not to do anything. He just was quiet.
Diptak.
You get advantage on these rolls against me.
Okay, so he looks at you and he says, "Quit your struggling. It is over. I will defeat you, shit."
Enter shit.
Sorry, I lost my train of thought.
Oh, I love it. Enter shit is a great
Um,
thing to say.
So we're gonna do a grapple contest, right? Sorry, I
Okay.
didn't tell you before. I have a 17, I believe.
24.
Yeah, right. He tries to grapple you again, and you again take your shield, just like, "Brr," and he gets more and more frustrated as he keeps rolling really good, but then he keeps getting countered by the enemy team. For some reason, the enemy team rolls super unfair high rolls all the time. And that's definitely not what's going through his head. He's just mad that he's being countered. The frustration is growing as he starts to get reckless. Okay. So at the end of the turn, the guy to his right wasn't necessary for him to defend in any way, but he continues to defend his charge, basically. So he's still there defending against any attacks from you, Vorel. Nash, your turn. Oh, sorry, excuse me.
Yeah, shouldn't be me yet.
I skipped way ahead. I skipped like 10 things. So yeah, that's L2. V1 is still alive. That's the Velociraptor that's being ridden, so we won't do that one. Stanley, your turn.
All right, the dude in the back in the desert with the little skull and crossbones, he's dead, right?
Yeah, he's dead. Does your hex move around?
It does if I use the bonus action to relocate it, which is why I asked.
Yeah, he's in the process of dying. His head is slowly sliding off of his shoulders.
Oh, great. So I'm gonna move the hex to the raptor I've been damaging.
Okay. The one behind you, the unmounted raptor.
Yeah, the unmounted raptor.
Okay.
And
I'll put a little hex dot on him.
Well, yeah, there we go.
It's like wearing a little brown little hat on him.
Hello,
he's a fancy boy.
Let's see, he's been taking a lot of damage, so maybe we try to finish this. I'm gonna fire an
21 points of damage to him.
Fire an Eldritch Blast at him.
Do you suffer from disadvantage if you do a ranged spell attack from point blank? I don't think it affects spells the same way it affects weapons, like ranged weapons. Right?
Don't know.
Right. I don't think it. I mean, my stuff doesn't. I don't have any disadvantage on point blank, but I don't know if it's different.
No, but it is like martial weapons, like crossbows and guns and stuff like that. If you shoot them from point blank, it is disadvantaged by default.
Yeah.
You have to have a distance of at least 5 feet, but I don't think it's the same for spell attacks, so that's fine. Let's do it.
Okay.
And if we're wrong, we'll fix it later, or you can tweet me at Scott Johnson. Just tweet me there, and
yeah, he'll get right on it. Fix that all up for you.
I'm pretty sure it hits. It's a 23 to hit.
Okay, you reach out with your hand, and white lightning cracks across a total of 6 inches and hits the Velociraptor and shocks it.
16 damage.
Oh my god.
Okay, and how much is that with your hex damage?
Yes, that's with both. I rolled a 6 for hex and a 10 for Eldritch Blast. So
okay, so as the shock as the electricity penetrates into his body and covers him completely in this black and white electrical pulse, he bloats up a bit, like you see in the sides where his chest bloats up a bit, and then the pressure causes this bang where guts on either side of his stomach just blow open these holes, and he goes and it falls to the ground immediately.
Another good raptor noise.
And it dies immediately. Do you move the hex immediately, or it's a bonus action? So
it's a bonus action, so it'd be next turn.
Okay. Yeah, that's Stanley's turn. Vorel, your turn.
All right. So a quick glance over my shoulder. How's Nash doing with his raptor?
He's in trouble.
They're both very grumpy, staring at one another.
Okay. Oh man. All right, I'm gonna disrespect this fool by turning around and grabbing the Velociraptor tail.
Okay, opportunity attack.
Yep.
Actually, no, you didn't move outside of his range. Does it count when they have spears and have reach? You're not outside of his range.
I did move within his range, though,
Yeah.
so I think I get attacked. But
Yeah, no, because I think you can, as long as you stay inside range, you don't provoke opportunity attacks. It's when you move in and out of range, I think.
I'll take it.
Yeah, no, there's no opportunity attack.
Sweet.
You have to move
All right.
farther than 5 feet.
Seems
Then
like
I
a
would-
good deal.
So, free action, swing the shield onto my back so I have both my hands,
Mhm.
and grab the Velociraptor tail for a grapple and just keep it away from Nash in range
It's
of
time
Nash.
for baseball Raptor time. Velocibaseball.
You know it. You know what I want to do.
That home
All
run.
right. So it's with advantage for you. I'm saving, I guess. I'm gonna save. Okay.
14.
5.
All right.
All right. So picture it from Nash. This thing's angry. It's like, you made it mad with the acid. Then all of a sudden it goes, and it looks back, and you just see Varel snap into view, and the Velociraptor just goes whoop, as it's pulled by its tail by Varel. Now this thing has like enough reach that you could probably hit from here, or you could move up closer. Okay. Just you continue your turn. Sorry. I'm
Yeah.
excited.
Because I figured that's the action is the grapple, which is now.
Yes, it is. You have
And
to keep the
as you
grapple.
assumed, I am going to Bowser this thing towards Diptac on my next turn. So I definitely, plant my feet
that's
in.
right. No more actions left. Okay, got it.
But I'm definitely beginning the spin, positioned to do so, and I'll shock through the lizard through my scales or into the Velociraptor.
Okay, it's a deck save. He saves.
Okay, 1 point of lightning.
Okay.
Just to piss
Bowser
it off.
him. I love it.
All right, Nash, it's your turn.
All right. Well, I look shocked now, not mad. Just like, whoa, where'd that come from? Is he still right in front of him? I'm gonna let he's on top of him. They're in the same space, so I'm not.
Well, they're in the same space. You see, Varel's starting to drag him, and yeah.
All right. Well, I'm gonna turn
still
my
re-
I'm gonna turn my focus on Mounty up here by I almost called you Paul, by Stanley, because of Paul Stanley.
Our favorite team member, Paul, who's been with us from the beginning.
No, I was
From the
thinking
start.
I was thinking Paul Stanley from Kiss. I just went in
okay.
my head that way. Anyway, I'm going to turn my sights, my evil one glowy red eye, on him, and cast something relatively wienery because I don't want to hurt John or Stanley rather. So I am going to cast Firebolt
Okay.
from that direction, and let's see. There's no. You don't do a save. I just do damage.
It's a ranged spell attack.
Yeah. So
You gotta roll a d20 to see if you hit.
yeah, just hold on a second. Here we go. All right. 18.
It's a hit.
All right.
Are you hitting the Velociraptor or the dude?
Oh, good question. I am also in video game mode. I'm thinking it's kind of the same until you chip them down a little bit, but they're not really. Can you tell me if he's taken any damage previously?
The Velociraptor hasn't.
Has not?
and as far as I know, and neither has the dude.
Okay. Then I'm gonna. If he was hurt, it'd be fun to kill it out from under him. But I'm just gonna. I'll take aim at the dude, the rider.
Okay. Roll your damage, please.
All right. That will be. Oh, we're 4th level, right? Yeah. Sorry, 3 is all.
Okay, so 3. So the flame bolt, the firebolt shoots out from your hand, and you doff it in the back of the head with the firebolt. The lizard folk just immediately springs back and looks at you with this lizard folk look. It is anger, but it's hard to read a lizard folk sometimes.
Okay.
And he just looks back at you intensely
All right.
and growls a little bit. Yeah, that's the firebolt. And no movement or anything else.
Well, I can move now without taking an opportunity attack, so I'm thinking maybe I should, but I don't know where. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna move. Let's see. I'm gonna move down and behind. Hope.
Okay.
For no
Alright.
good strategic reason, I just feel like moving.
Yeah, because what happens next is Bok Bok, with his loincloth on, runs up towards the pinned down Velociraptor that you're holding open with the you're holding the mouth open with pinning it to the ground, and he reaches into his loincloth, and he pulls out a good berry, and as his bonus action he feeds one to you. And while you're holding it down, he put
I'll swallow it. And
all right, so you open your mouth, sort of, and you chew on. It's delicious, by the way. It tastes delicious. It tastes like a fresh, ripe berry, and it heals you for 1 hit point.
Oh, the
Fresh.
dirty, freaking nasty little piece
And then he
of shit.
reaches back into his loincloth again and pulls out a stick of dynamite, and he lights it and drops it into the Velociraptor's mouth. And that's his turn.
I wouldn't eat anything he had his fingers on, but whatever.
Well, that's you and your bias.
Yeah.
All right. The Velociraptor next to you, Stanley, looks back at Nash, then turns his attention back to you, and he lets the Velociraptor take attacks at you. So the Velociraptor swings out with both of its claws, missing, and then makes an attack with his teeth. And why can't I roll any higher? Swings out with his teeth, and he just attempts to bite you with it. And then his does attack with his spear coming down. And that misses as you just dodge everything so swift and so smooth.
Okay, so I want to say, in fairness, there's been something I've been forgetting. I have been hit twice. Hex is a concentration spell.
Oh, so Hex dissipates then.
I mean, do you want me to roll to see if it dissipates?
Let's not retcon. If you've been hit, it dissipates.
No, you have to save to see if it dissipates. It's not an auto dissipate.
Oh, then roll a save. If we didn't do it, you took 2 instances of damage
Yes.
with Hex up. You sure you
Yes.
didn't get hit first, then Hex went out? I don't remember. Roll 2 saves.
I mean, there have been 2 times I've been hit with Hex technically up.
roll 2 saves. Roll 2 saves.
That's 10. Oh, wait, no, that's 11, because it's my constitution. And that's an 8. That's a 19. So it would have saved both times.
Okay. So now you're going to take 1 point of punishment damage for
Okay. Fair enough.
Just
I'll
it's
take
from exhaustion from overextending with your magic.
Yeah, for being too
The
OP.
punishments may get worse if more egregious attempts.
Hey, I was honest about it. I came back around.
and I'm judicious with the amount of damage you've taken.
All right, that's fine.
But
Just get a berry, John. Everything will be fine.
I don't need a berry. I'm good. You can all have those berries.
it's just it's mental exhaustion from overextending on the concentration.
No, that makes sense. I'm
Sure.
down for it.
Okay, what Bok had just gone. That thing had just attacked you. Now the Velociraptor you have in your hands, Pharrell, begins to struggle and squirm and claw at the ground, trying to get away from you. So do you still have advantage on this next grapple, or no?
Just while I'm raging, I have advantage anyway.
Okay. Okay, so we're gonna do a strength contest.
17.
You did it. I got 16.
Wow.
It struggles and squirms violently in your hand, and your muscles ripple as you force the tail into where you want it, fighting its will as you drag it and walk towards Dip Tac. V3, so V4. So the one that you're holding, Hope, is now sort of choking. It tries to break free from your grasp, so we're also going to do a grapple check.
Okay.
13.
11.
Okay, so it breaks free and pushes you off. So you sort of slide back. Oops, this way, and it pushes you off, and it flips over, and then looks around, and it's just uncomfortable in its face, and it goes and swallows. And you kind of see this like little thing down inside of its neck, this little bump, as potentially the dynamite's traveling down its neck. And it turns around and looks and makes an attack towards you, remembering who it was that sort of won in that contest. It has a memory of you and swings around and makes its attacks. Oh no, its action was to break free, so it doesn't run away. So it moves towards you to go to attack you, but doesn't have the attack. However, swallow the dynamite. It's your turn, Hope.
All right. Well, if oh jeez, I probably. Oh man, how much time do we have? You know what? It doesn't matter. So what I'll do is I'll scramble up to my feet and start taking off into the desert to get this thing to chase me, so that when it does blow, if it blows, it's not going to hurt anyone.
All right, so you're attacking it.
Running from it.
To get it.
I think you're not going to hit it then run. You're just going to run to get it to chase you. Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna see
All
if
right,
I can
well,
cover.
Are you dash actioning, or are you just
Yeah, I'll dash out.
then move your 60 feet?
Alrighty. I'm off the map. Sorry. 45.
You can just run along the side, or I can extend the map out actually, so that you can move farther if you want to.
And you know what? I'll just start going up this way. I think that's 60. Maybe. There we go.
That do
Let's say that's
anything?
60.
Yeah. Now you've got more white squares to move into.
Cool.
All right. You run way off the map. Okay. It provokes an opportunity attack. You were next to the lizard folk who's guarding Diptak. So it makes an opportunity attack against you. Misses. As well as the Velociraptor gets one too. That one hits its claws. So as you run out of its way, you take 4 slashing damage.
Okay, cool.
All right. So you start running off to try and get the Velociraptor to chase you. Who's been facing you to attack you next? Seems like. Okay. Diptak, he sees that you are coming with to swing the Velociraptor with him, and he goes, "Wait!" And he begins backing up. He begins backing up cautiously, and then he readies. He readies. It looks like he's readying, like he's preparing to be hit and to counterattack. What you're about to do? He says, "Wait!" Okay. The one that's next to him also backs up along with him to try and protect him, standing a little bit in front of him, as the loyal guard does. Also readies an action. Stanley, it's your turn.
Alrighty. Let's do this. It's a bonus action. Man, I have too many bonus actions is my problem.
Yeah, your bonus action economies, you only get one, so don't pick too many bonus actions to do all the time.
Hey, some of it's elective. Some of it I just haven't had a say in the whole matter. Freaking A. Okay, so the curse is going to dissipate because I don't think it lingers. If I don't use the bonus action to move it, it's gone, right?
I don't know. Do you know?
It doesn't say, so I'm assuming that's how
I
it
need
works.
you guys to know your spells if possible.
It doesn't say is the problem. It just says I can move it if the
All right,
creature-
you place a curse on a creature that you can see within range until the spell ends. You deal an extra 1d6 to necrotic damage when you hit it with an attack. Also choose one ability when you cast a spell as disadvantage. It drops to 0 hit points before the spell ends. So how long does the spell last? It's concentration.
An hour.
An hour? Okay. Before the spell ends, you can use a bonus action on a subsequent turn to curse a new creature. Yeah, it sounds like you have it for an hour.
Oh, okay. Well, we won't move it this round because instead Stanley's eyes are going to flash silver, and he is going to, on everybody except Hope, who is sadly out of range now, he is going to say, Alit Orish Ya Taldin, and grant 5 temporary hit points to myself, Nash, and Varel. And if you want to use your reaction, it turns out I read this wrong. You can move up to your movement in any direction without doing an opportunity attack.
You can up to your movement.
Yes.
There we go.
What?
What?
So I can just chase him with a
Yes.
Velociraptor in my hands?
I wonder if
Like
I
it's
should
a
put a move
gun?
restriction, like you have half movement while you're carrying. You have half movement while you're doing it. It's heavy.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you for it's pretty nuts, right? So, which is this Mantle of Inspiration?
Yeah.
Yeah, move up to its speed without provoking. Wow,
I know. I used to think it was only 5 feet.
that's insane. You just give everyone a free move action.
Yeah,
But
if they want to spend their reaction on
and
it.
no opportunity attack. So if you wanted to line it up so that everyone was surrounding one guy to Nova him, you could have the movements all happen during your turn, and then everyone does their attack on a single dude. That's crazy. Anyways, it happens. People, Varel, do you get that? Yeah, you get your reaction for this turn as well. So everyone, those three of you can move up to their move speed. Please describe for our audio listeners where you're moving to, though.
I have moved away from Raptor Buddy Man, back towards the Fate 4.
Yeah.
I'm now standing behind Nash, who's by the Dynamite Lizard.
Yeah.
That's where I moved to.
Nash, where are you moving to? I have a feeling Varel's got.
Going right there.
We know exactly where he's going. Okay.
Sorry, audio listeners. I moved onto the other side of the door of the Fate 4. Is where I'm at. So Stanley and I are right there.
I will shot put, advance, spinning as I go, 15 feet forward, preparing the momentum to fling my raptor at my opponent.
And for my action, I am going to cast at first level Dissonant Whispers on the Dynamite Raptor.
Okay, and that's a save.
Wisdom 15 save.
It saves. I rolled a 20. Not natural.
Boo! Let me see if it still takes damage or not. Failed save. It takes 3. Oh wait, no, that's failed. Yeah, I guess it just doesn't take anything.
Okay, so it starts shaking itself off randomly as it looks around. It thinks it hears something, but nothing happens. Okay, Pharrell, your turn.
Awesome. I would like to fling my raptor at Diptak after many spins.
All right, I should have been thinking about this ahead of time. So you're throwing it at him like a ranged weapon.
Right, but javelins and if I'm throwing rocks can be strength checks in 5.E. So I can do this as a strength throw.
Okay, so it's just a skill check then, and he gets hit with force damage.
Yes. And if the raptor's scared and has its teeth out.
And what's the range? So it's 10 feet. It's got to travel. So I think it would be 1d10. Like it would, so you can sort of take fall damage and apply it to if the ground flies at you instead of you flying at it. Right. So yeah. So the farther you fling it, the more damage it would do.
Cool. Well, let's see how far strength throws it today. All right, 24.
All right, 1d10 plus your strength modifier.
Awesome. This isn't a weapon, so I won't apply my rage damage.
No, you should apply your rage damage.
He's totally a weapon, man. Big old fleshy dinosaur.
Well, it says only weapon attacks, and it's very particular in 5e.
Yeah.
Something's a weapon or something's improvised.
Yeah, he's using a skill check to throw basically the ground at him, so it's not a weapon. If that makes sense.
Okay.
Cool. So 13 points of damage.
But we're ruling that 13 points of damage. And how much damage does he have on him? Okay, that brings him to 20. All right, so you take it by the tail and you whip the Velociraptor, who's like spinning around like crazy, and it smashes right into Diptak, and he goes no, and his spear flies out of his hand, and and it lands on top of him, poof, and the weight of the Velociraptor is now pinning under Diptak, and Diptak's body goes limp and flies back an additional 5 feet with the Velociraptor on top. The Velociraptor also takes damage. So can you roll 1d10 plus your strength?
Can do.
Because he fell into...
And as I throw the Velociraptor, I'd like to electrify him.
Sure.
All right. 16. And then you get the dex, but that...
16 points of damage, so 15. Okay, so you throw the Velociraptor, it lands on top of Diptak, and you can still hear it breathing and growling and trying to struggle to get up, but Diptak is motionless.
Cool. It gets its dex save, I guess, for the lightning damage.
Oh, oops. That's saved, so not quite as much.
2 points of damage.
Oh, so an additional 2?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It's just barely, like you've crushed both into each other, and they're in a tangled pile standing in front of you.
Awesome.
And he's unarmed. His spear flew out of his hand.
I'm kind of post-bowling posed right now as I threw it.
All right, Nash, your turn.
Okay.
You just watched Pharrell throw a Velociraptor at a lizard guy.
far enough away that the raptor that's chasing after Hope, is he still in that position?
It's the one marked V4. Yeah.
Okay, so he just hasn't had a run yet.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I hit him with anything? With him running? I don't know the rule on that. If he's taken off, can I try to hit him with something?
Yeah. I mean, he's still, healthy looking. He's still angry, still moving about.
Oh crap!
He's focused on Hope, who's run away though.
It looks like I clip Bok Bok's spot though. If I do anything that's line of sight.
Yeah. But I mean, you can just.
I can move. Yeah. Probably. All right. Well, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to move to be just to this corner of Stanley.
Mm-hmm.
And then let's see here. I would like to. That's dumb. All right, let's just do another firebolt.
Okay. Ranged spell attack.
Yep. Let's see if we get a hit. Two.
Nope. This is. You fire out the firebolt and it flies above Bok Bok and above the Velociraptor and it
great
flies into the to the sky, to the night sky,
all right,
illuminating the desert as it goes along.
I have my character has a grumpy face again. That's the end of my turn.
Okay. All right, so Bok Bok now he turns around, looks at you as if like, whoa, that was close. Crazy, and then he puts his hand over his ears and he starts running back towards the vehicle. Provokes an opportunity attack from the Velociraptor as it looks back and sniffs him. Hits.
No.
Nails Bok Bok in the back for a few points of damage as he and he runs towards the vehicle with his hands over his ears, runs inside and takes cover inside the vehicle. So which one is L3? He's probably L3 is the one that got thrown on top, right? Yeah. Okay. So this Velociraptor slowly gets up on top of Diptak, steps off, and he looks around all dazed and confused. He's slowly, very cautiously looks at you, Varel, and then decides to take off. And he starts running out into the night, barely surviving. He's limping as the Velociraptor runs out into the night sky. And this one, the one that's next to you, the lizard folk, he looks at it and he says, "Cowardly beast," and spits in disgust at this Velociraptor who's cowardly running away, who's gone essentially. Let's see. So now next up is V3. So one of the that's the Velociraptor that ran. Who is L3? Oh, it's the one that's running. So this guy turns around on his Velociraptor and charges for you guys. Comes up in front of you next to the Fate 4. The Velociraptor comes up, makes an attack for Stanley, while the rider attacks Nash. That's one hit of the slashing damage. The claws come out, Stanley, and hits you for, 5 points of damage, and then makes a bite attack against you as well, but it misses. So he swings with one claw, swings with another, scratches your chest, and attempts to bite you and sticks his snout next to the vehicle as he reaches his snout in. Nash, the rider, comes up to you with a spear. By the way,
concentration fails at that point. It failed the save, so Hex has
okay, so no more Hex? Okay, perfect. The spear comes down, and he makes 2 attacks with the spear to try and as the cold, glassy-eyed lizard folk stabs you heartlessly, Nash, twice.
How much damage?
11 points of damage as he just shanks you with the spear just over and over, twice, hitting you, once in your arm, once in your gut.
Damage
on your right side.
All right, it's not too bad. John's temporary 5 helped me out there. Thank you very much, Stanley.
Okay, so that's those 2.
I go, thank you, Stanley. I say.
For what?
for your additional 5 hit points. It's kind of an abstract concept. We can talk about it later.
Okay, I don't. All right.
So this Velociraptor here, the Dynamite Raptor, having slashed at Bok, turns around back, his hatred focused in on Hope, and runs 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and then kaboom!
Oh no.
Yes.
Inside of its chest, stomach area just explodes suddenly, dealing. It's 3d6 for dynamite, right? 3d6 bludgeoning. He's going to automatically fail a save because it's inside of him. And in fact, that'll deal additional damage.
Smile, you
Jeez.
son of a bitch.
Okay, so it's going to deal, because it's inside of him, he's going to take additional damage from the dynamite. 20 points of damage to him. And, well, there's nothing else within 5 feet of him that has to make any saves. So his stomach just explodes out from underneath him. And he goes, ah! As he continues running, guts dripping, 30 feet, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55. He actually has a move speed of 40, so with a dash action, he can move up to 80 and can't run you down. So now he's right on you, his guts hanging out, still living, but, clearly it won't be long for this earth, but he still has life in him as he's right on your tail as you're like booking it down the desert. He's right behind you. Hope, it's your turn.
All right, so breathing hard because I've been dashing. I'll hear the explosion, and I'll turn around, and I'll see him coming at me with those guts, those glorious guts hanging out of his stomach, and I'll reach my hands up and try to grab his intestines and just pull them out.
So wait, you want to just pull his intestines out?
Yeah.
Okay. Can we do an sleight of hand check, please?
Sleight of hand.
I just picture like a magician with scarves out of a sleeve. Oh,
Or you're on the subway and you're like, oh, wait, where's my
Ooh.
intestines?
oh, they got me again.
I thought it'd be grapple or something.
Nope, you're trying to stick your hand in where it's dangerous and pull out some intestines. It's a sleight of hand
All
check.
right.
11.
All right, and what's... I didn't set a DC for this. What's the DC on stealing someone's intestines?
He's exploded on the inside. Doesn't he?
All right,
have
it
any
doesn't
disadvantage?
qualify as easy. It's at least moderate, so no, 11 won't cut it. You go to try and take his intestines for yourself, and he just knocks them aside with his head. You just have a hard time getting your hand underneath there. It's raging and attempting to attack you. So that's your action.
Yeah, and I'll stand there and I'm gonna keep trying. He's almost dead. And also my machete and gun are back where I ran from, so this is
Oh,
gonna be
no.
a dirty brawl.
Uh-oh.
Oh no! All right. So Diptak, lying on the ground, says, "I yield." That's what he says to you. That he's yielding
To who? To Varel?
to Varel. He yells it to the air, but where Varel can hear it. The one that's been guarding Diptak moves back to cover his body, stands in front of it. You can make an opportunity attack if you choose Varel, because he's moving out of your melee range.
Okay, I won't. I'd use the opportunity to look back at the mounted rider to see if he's stopped.
I mean, he hasn't stopped yet, although he would have heard this, and he's looked back towards his leader.
Okay.
The Velociraptor's still going nuts, but
Yeah.
but you look back, you see he's looked at the yield and heard the yield sign. Since it's a matter of seconds that we're going through, you don't have to wait till his next turn to find out if he obeys his patron
Okay.
or master or lord or whatever. I'm not sure what we would call it in lizard folk terms. It's house leader. So he says, "I yield." That's so this guy moves up in front. V1 is being ridden. So I've been doing these two turns together. So I should just move. I'm just going to move him with the lizard folk he's on, so I stop getting confused. And V1. So Stanley, it's your turn.
All right. Having heard that, I will just motion for diplomacy to return to me and sheath it and just stare intently at the rider.
Okay, Varel, your turn.
All right, I will. I will walk up to Diptak on the ground behind his guard and speaking over his guard, motion to Hope and say, "Call off your beast, then."
To his guard to call off the beasts. Okay.
To Diptak over his guard, not acknowledging his guard. Straight to Diptak. Call off your beast. Head flick to Hope out in the desert, duel in the intestine.
Okay, so he says Morakakburek Hayat Har, and this one that he's riding, and the lizard folk sort of slaps it on the side, and they move out of your range and come to protect their patron. This raptor here pays no mind to it. In the throes of a death stance, it's still bearing down on Hope effectively. So if everyone has stopping any of their combat actions, they can, but Hope and this beast cannot. This beast will not. This beast is dying and will attack violently till it dies. So we're going to move ahead.
I assume just an ear glance towards Hope sounds like she's having a great time and doesn't need help.
Okay, so let's resolve this little combat to see what happens, and then we'll go back to the conversation. Hope you had the last move of these two, so it's his turn. It's going to attack you wildly with its claws. 15. Does 15 hit you?
No.
Not 15. Sorry, claws plus 4. 17 hit you. 17.
Yeah.
Okay, so I rolled like a 17 and a 22, so you get hit with both claws. So that's slashing damage. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 points of damage as both claws wildly sink into either of your sides and slash you. And then it's going to bite you. And that one connects as well. Rolled a 19. And that's at 5. So what was the other damage? 5 plus 11?
5 plus 16.
16? Yeah, 21 points of damage.
Cool.
Jeez.
As it bites you and slashes you with both of its claws, and just it's fighting wildly and intensely, and you were kind of having a laugh trying to pull its intestines out, but you realize you're in a serious
I have a
serious
reaction
situation.
though to the damage.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to cast Hellish Rebuke,
Mhm.
and the save is a Dex 13.
On him, okay.
Yeah. So my eyes will go black.
I roll 11
Perfect.
to fail.
Sweet. So he's going to take 16 points of fire damage as hellish flames consume him.
What? Okay, can you describe this for me?
Oh, totally. My eyes will cloud black, and I'll laugh and say something horribly harsh on ears for those who don't understand demonic as I point at it. And my voice will echo.
You can't point at it because it's bitten you and it has its claws in you.
Then I'll
It's an
spit
intimate
on it.
kill. Yeah. Continue. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but he's not away from you. He's
Oh, yeah, that's fine. But yeah, so that's what'll happen. Eyes will cloud black.
and
My voice
is
will
it
echo.
fire? Is it fire that hellish rebuke?
Hellish
Like-
flames.
Okay, so you just you magically set it on fire as it melts in your hand, and you hear it screaming in your ear. And you and Diptak are looking at one another, waiting for the sound to end so that you can parlay. And you're like, this is fireball in the desert,
And
lighting
Hope
up
will
the
be
night
laughing
sky.
as it dies.
Sure, I imagine that it sinks down to its knees, and then you're on top of it, forcing it as if almost you're pushing it into hell, into the ground, as it just with your will keep it aflame. And everyone sort of watches this for a solid 60 seconds, just Hope killing this beast in the most violent possible way imaginable, and the cries yell out throughout the desert. Until finally it goes, and there's nothing but silence and the sound of flames crackling. We should take a break on that note.
Yeah, Stanley should prep his prestidigitation for how gross Hope's going to be after this little fight.
Yeah, you're covered in blood, soot, like burnt blood, and the intestines you got on you now. So
Yeah, nicely done.
pleased with that.
All right, we're gonna take a break. Hang in there, everybody. Come back in just a moment. We'll be right back and right here for you.